a lot of new news coming out just this morning. Shannon, what do you make of all this?
Skip, I love when a player come together. Man, it doesn't like a player. You don't get it?
Huh.
You're putting a puzzle together. Maybe you got a 1,000-piece puzzle, and it seems impossible when it's just like spread out all over the floor. And then you start like, okay, here's a corner piece, and there's a top corner piece, and then all of a sudden it starts to come together. I don't know, Skip, you ever I put a puzzle, I think I was about 13 or 14. I put a puzzle together of the United States. Then it took me like 3-4 days to do that thing.
Wow.
But it was when it came to see it come together. California here, and then you see Arizona and Vegas, and then I get Georgia, Florida, and it comes together. And I'm like,
that took 3 or 4
Yeah,
days?
yeah!
Is that too long?
Yes!
You're better than that.
Yes!
You should have done that in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know how the states are. You can just look at a map.
They're all over the place. But anyway, to make my point, Skip Bayless, stop interrupting what you try to do. My plan is starting to take shape, just like I laid it out. I told you what was going to happen. Oh, Jerry, it makes too much sense for them, and it makes too much sense for the Cowboys. No, you're trying to get them at a discount price, Jerry Jones. No. See, he want to go retail shopping, Jenny, and pay wholesale prices. Where they do that at? That don't work, Skip Bayless. I keep telling you that. Stephen Jones is trying to poison the water by talking about they got to give us a discount. No, we ain't give you nothing.
Okay.
He want top dollar. He want Todd Gurley money. And for Jared to talk about the prove it deal, prove it. Zeke said, what you want me to do? You want me to lead the league in 3 of the first 4 years? Because I would have let it 3 straight had it not railroaded me and forced me to miss 6 games. That's what I would have done. Amari Cooper said, hold on. Skip, let me get my card. Get my card just right here. Skip, did you know Dak, before Amari Cooper got there, Dak had 1 game in which he threw for 200 yards or more. Once Amari arrived, 7 times he threw for 200 yards or more.
It helps to have 1 decent receiver.
So Amari said, what I need to prove? You proved to me you couldn't move the ball through the air without me.
Okay.
You proved that. Zeke Elliott said, you also proved to me that when I was in Cabo the first time, you couldn't win games without me. So what do I need to prove? I keep telling you, Skip Bayless, that's a great problem to have. It is if everybody isn't up on a contract, needing a contract at the same time. Skip, you in trouble. You don't want to admit it. You put on your brave. You know what, Skip? You'd have been a heck of a coach. You know why? Because even when you know you about to get the brakes beat off you, you could have convinced your players that, you know what, guys, we got a chance to beat this team. They're not better than us today. And
we would have pulled off the upset of the century.
You got the brakes beat off you, but you'd have had the guy believe, we got him. And then after they go up like 28-0 in the first 8 minutes of the game, like, we ain't got him. Skip, you in trouble.
When have I ever been down 28-0? Ever.
You down right now.
No.
You down right now.
Ever, never.
You called a 20-second timeout just a minute ago.
I'm really good right now. By the way, last night was the Jerry Jones annual media bash, in which he takes the whole group of media out in Oxnard. I think they bus all the way to Nobu in Malibu. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night. It's a great opportunity for all the reporters to kind of pull Jerry and or Stephen aside for just a second and get a little off the record, that you could tweet, but you can't really quote. But it's a great night for Jerry and Stephen to use that little platform to get their message out through the media.
Sure.
It's another big opportunity to negotiate publicly with a holdout Zeke and a Dak and Amari who are at camp.
Correct.
So they're going to hear and read all this. But let's just do the hypothetical that got proposed last night, that got tweeted today by Jane Slater. The hypothetical is it possible all 3 stars, borderline emerging superstars, would be forced to go into this real season with no contract, to play it out on prove-it deals that they're currently on? Is that possible? Well, right now, the CBA, unfortunately, and I'm completely with you on this, it gives Jerry and Stephen all the leverage. And it's wrong, and it needs to be righted. And in fact, I read yesterday they had an early negotiating session. Did you see that?
Yes.
On the next CBA. You got to get this one right. And all that you could do to help mentor young players, to advise them, to counsel them, to direct them how to get this right, you should do all you can do, because they will listen to you on this. Okay, but right now, they're stuck under the old deal.
Yep.
And right now, let's take Dak. He has 1 year to go on his deal.
No, he's in the last year.
Well, I'm saying he's got this year.
This year,
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
got this season to go at only $2 million. But he does have, my last count, maybe a dozen national TV commercials. So he's making a little bit of money off the field. I don't know how much, but at least you got something going for you. And there is this thing called a franchise tag. So let's do the worst case scenario for Dak is that he would play it out and think, ooh, I'm getting toward free agency. And boom, you get slapped with the franchise tag. Now you're going to make a whole lot of money off that tag, as we saw Kirk Cousins make 2 years in a row in Washington, right? You can make a lot of money off that tag, whatever that average of the top five.
He made almost $45 million in 2 years.
Okay. All right.
So it's way above that now. It's way above that.
Not all that bad, but Jerry does have that in his hip pocket, right? He's got that over you. Let's go to Amari. He's scheduled to make $13.9 this year. So he's the one of the three who says, I don't have great amount of urgency. Yeah, do I want a new deal? You better believe I do. But he's very happy in Dallas. He's found football heaven with Dak in Dallas, right? Jerry knows that. So if you have him play through the year toward free agency, then could you keep him from leaving via free agency as the cap expands? Then you give him his big deal. It's an AB type deal or whatever, even a Michael Thomas if it goes that high. Okay, that's another one. And then you got Zeke. He's under contract for 2 more football seasons, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if you had used the tag on, I'm doing the worst case for these players, if you had used the tag on Dak 2 years from now, well, then you could use it on Zeke the next 2 years after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, so you could really pull this off, and you could unite, I'm just doing the hypothetical, you could unite and ignite the whole football team, the whole locker room against you. So it would be locker room versus Jerry and Steven. Like, how dare you? Watch what we're going to do. We're going to play it out with motivation, just the way I talked about. Michael Jordan played out that 1998 year to put Jerry Krause, their GM, back in his place. How dare you think that you could replace our coach, Phil Jackson, right?
Yeah, Skip, but if I was Jerry, I would pay him now. Can you imagine?
Okay, well, he has proposed this hypothetical.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you get your dream scenario. The Cowboys get to and win the Super Bowl. Do you know how much you'll have to pay Dak Prescott?
Okay.
Do you know how much you'll have to pay Amari Cooper?
Do you know how much more the cap will go up next year?
Yeah, it ain't gonna. He will literally. Dak will be. I put it like this here: if he makes Dak play this thing out, and the Cowboys get to and win the Super Bowl, and Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl, Dak Prescott will be the first $200 million quarterback. He will get $150 million guaranteed.
You know what?
Jerry want that?
Jerry wants one more Super Bowl. He would probably pay any of this price to get that one. If he wins this year's Super Bowl with the team united against him, he'd die and go to football heaven. I don't know if Jerry's going to real heaven. I'm not sure about that, but he would go to football heaven.
But Skip, the thing is that you want guys happy. Are they going to be happy knowing that Dak Prescott said, hold on, wait a minute, Jerry. I won 2 divisions. I won a playoff game. And you tell me you want me to prove it? Oh, Amari Cooper.
Wait a second.
Huh?
What do you keep? We're about to talk about this one more time. What do you tell me about Dak Prescott? He's average. He's mediocre.
Whoa.
Don't you tell me that?
Hold on. Now, Jerry, you can't have it both ways. You can't say we got our franchise quarterback and then use what at Pro Football Focus and what all the other media members say. So which is it, Jerry?
You could.
Huh?
You could just pull Dak aside and say, hey, all I read is that you are a mediocre quarterback. You're going to have to prove to me this year you're better than average.
And Dak says, hold on. Mediocre quarterbacks. When last time mediocre quarterbacks won 2 divisions within their first 3 years?
Oh, so you're arguing for Dak?
Whoa.
Can I use that in our next topic?
You know I'm pro players. You already know this, Skip Bayless. But my thing is, Skip, is that prove it. Each one of these guys have proven their value
wait a second.
to you.
Let's do Amari.
Yeah.
He had not 1 but 2 down years in Oakland. One under Del Rio, and then when Gruden came, he went right in the tank for reasons that I defend him on. But it was not pretty what happened under John Gruden.
Right.
So he was on his way to his 2nd straight down year by his 2. He'd made 2 Pro Bowls, and all of a sudden he's looking below average for 2 football seasons till he got traded.
Right.
Last 8 games last year, blip or trend? Will he be able to sustain? Well, Jerry could ask him, you're going to have to show me you can sustain that going into the first game of the year.
The question is, if Jason Garrett is not there, what type of coach are you going to hire? Because if you're going to browbeat him, no, he'll revert back to where he was. Skip, you know John Gruden and Amari Cooper. You see his personality and John Gruden's personality.
I agree with you.
You already know it's
I'm just telling you what Jerry could argue right now to Amari. Hey, I need to see you for 16 games instead of the back half of a schedule when you came here and found nirvana.
Okay. Did you see what your quarterback looked like before I got here?
Okay. Well, okay. Point taken. Got you. But then Ezekiel Elliott.
They got to prove nothing. What do you got to prove?
Really?
No. 2-time league rushing champ.
I don't even want to have to call for it because I don't want to see it again, but that Las Vegas tape of what happened, that little incident there, do you want to see that again? Do you want to see another bar fight? Do you want to see another incident with another security guard?
When Jerry cared about that?
Okay.
When has Jerry ever cared about that?
He could pull him aside, if he ever comes back, and say, hey, I need you to prove it to me for 16 games this year that you will stay out of trouble. Simple as that. That you will be a model citizen.
He stayed out of trouble during the season last year.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know that for a fact.
I know that.
I don't.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.